What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to give my thoughts on what the Atlanta Falcons should do moving forward with the quarterback position. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my thoughts on what the Atlanta Falcons should do moving forward at the quarterback position. I got the idea from this video from my bro Mad Mike. He did put this question on Facebook of what the Atlanta Falcons should do moving forward, at the quarterback position. And personally, if I were Arthur Smith, if I were Terry Fontenot, I would stick with Desmond Ridder. From what I've seen so far this year from Desmond Ridder, he has about, I believe, 14 touchdowns, including his runs and his passing touchdowns, and about 9 interceptions on the season. But personally, to me, he's shown me enough this season where I would feel comfortable with bringing him back as the starter next year. Now, I'm not stating that I wouldn't bring in a competition. If they want to go out and bring in another veteran quarterback outside of Taylor Heineke, I would be fine with them doing that. If they wanted to draft another quarterback, I'm not opposed to that either. Personally, I wouldn't waste a draft pick. Like if you got to trade up for one of these one of these first round quarterbacks, I wouldn't trade up for a quarterback. But if they want to take a quarterback at some point in the draft, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I really feel like I would stick with Desmond Ridder as the starter even next season. From what I've seen this year, Desmond Ridder has shown me that he's a poised passer, especially in the clutch moments in the fourth quarter of these games. He's done an excellent job. I believe he had 4 or 5 fourth quarter comebacks this season. And he's played really well this season. Yes, he's had turnovers and mistakes, which all first year quarterbacks make mistakes. But I don't subscribe to the narrative of the NFL as far as stating that great quarterback play wins you games consistently. I really don't believe in if you just have a great quarterback that you're going to win championships because you have a great quarterback. I really feel like it comes down to you having a great team. And that's what they always state, that football is the ultimate team sport. And the prime example of that is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is one of those guys who was, I believe, the #2 pick in this draft by the Houston Texans. And everybody's clamoring about how great he's played this season. And I did go look at his numbers, and he is playing really well this season. He has 20 touchdown passes, only 5 interceptions, over 3,600 yards passing this season. So he has played really, really well for his first year as a rookie starting quarterback. And he's like an anomaly. You don't see this often with a quarterback coming in their rookie season and being one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now, what I'll say to that is the Houston Texans record this season is 7-6. The Falcons record right now is 6-7. So both of those teams are hovering around 500, even with C.J. Stroud playing at an extremely high level for a rookie quarterback or playing at an extremely high level for any quarterback in the league. If having a great quarterback wins games, why are the Houston Texans in 3rd place right now in their division? The Jacksonville Jaguars are in front of them. And if I'm not mistaken, the Tennessee Titans is right there in front of them as well. So I don't subscribe to the narrative that if you have a great quarterback, that's going to win you games and that's going to, change the life of your franchise. And we've seen that with C.J. Stroud. And I was a C.J. Stroud fan with him coming out of the draft. And I do think he's done an excellent job this season with their team. But that just goes to show you, outside of him having this great season, him at one point being in the MVP conversation, they're still hovering around 500, just like our Atlanta Falcons. So that's just a prime example of If you guys want one of these guys like Jaden Daniels coming out, or if you guys want one of these guys like Drake May coming out in the draft, that doesn't guarantee that the Falcons are going to have success. You still have to have the ancillary pieces around that quarterback. You still have to have a good defense. You still have to have a good special teams, and you still have to have a good coaching that understands how to deploy those offensive weapons. And I really feel like that's been the biggest issue with our Atlanta Falcons this season. As far as Desmond Ridder, I feel like Coach Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone, and I've stated this all season, they've done a poor job of deploying their weapons. Yes, we have some of the best weapons in the NFL, the Drake Londons, the Kyle Pitts, the Bijan Robinsons, the Tyler Algiers, and the Cordell Pattersons. I think that our offensive play calling hasn't been the best this year. It's been hit and miss. I do think that Arthur Smith has some good plays in his playbook, but he doesn't understand rhythm, and he's done a poor job of putting Desmond Ridder in positions where he can succeed and where this offense can succeed. I really feel like when you have a first-year starting quarterback, he should be a game manager. And I feel like in this season, they haven't allowed Desmond Ridder to be a game manager. They're kind of giving him the keys to the car, and they really are kind of forcing him to go out there and win games. When you're asking your quarterback to throw the ball 40 times, you're not a game manager at that point. And we've seen that numerous times this season where we've lost games, like this game against Tampa Bay where we threw the ball 40 plus times. And I feel like you shouldn't put a starting quarterback, first year starter, rookie, in that type of position where you're asking him to go out there and be the sole reason why you win, especially when you have a really good defense. And that's what I talked about numerous times throughout the live shows, numerous times here on my channel. The problem that I have with Arthur Smith and this coaching staff in general is that they haven't done a good job of playing to our strengths. When you have a rookie quarterback and you have a good defense and a good running game, you run the ball first. You allow your defense to put you in good field position. And at that point, you set your young quarterback up for success where he doesn't have to do a whole lot. To me, I feel like they've kind of gave Desmond Ridder the playbook. They've opened up the playbook all the way, and they haven't done a good job of putting him in positions to succeed. And that's why we're seeing Desmond Ridder struggle. So I really feel like if anything, they've hindered the growth of Desmond Ridder with the benching of those 2 games. A lot of people are continuing to talk about how many touchdown passes, how many interceptions Desmond Ridder has. But I haven't heard anybody bring up that he did miss 2 games this season against 2 weaker opponents. At the time, we were playing the Arizona Cardinals, who's one of the weakest teams on our schedule this year. That was one of the games where Desmond Ridder probably would have put up big numbers in that game against the Arizona Cardinals and possibly would have won that game if he wasn't benched. The same thing the week before that against the Minnesota Vikings, where they were out Justin Jefferson. They were out without Kirk Cousins. And in that game, Desmond Ridder, that was the first game that he was benched in. Those are 2 opportunities that Desmond Ridder could have put up big numbers. And those are 2 opportunities where the Falcons could have won games. So as I mentioned before, I've been disappointed in the coaching staff because I feel like they've done Desmond Ridder a disservice. But I definitely think that Desmond Ridder has shown me enough to be the starter next year. And if you disagree with me in this video, give your reasons of why why you disagree, why Desmond Ridder shouldn't be the future of this Atlanta Falcons team. But personally, Desmond Ridder has shown me that he can make all the NFL throws. He's shown me that he's athletic enough to beat a man as he did in this last game against Tampa Bay, where the defensive end or outside linebacker, it was him and Desmond Ridder was able to beat him to the edge and score that touchdown. So he's shown that he has all of the athleticism to not only throw the ball down the field, but also he can use his legs, and he's athletic enough to escape pressure. And he's shown me pretty much that he can make every single throw and that he can process defenses. So I really don't see a reason why you would want to go to a rookie quarterback and hit the reset button, because any quarterback you bring in this system, whether it's Caleb Williams, whether it's Drake May, whether it's one of these younger guys, Jaden Daniels, these guys are still going to have to come in and learn the NFL playbook. They're still going to have to adjust to the speed of the NFL. And I continue to say this, just because you are a great college quarterback doesn't mean you're going to have success in the NFL. And we're seeing that with Desmond Ridder. He was a great college and collegiate quarterback. had one of the best records for a college or collegiate quarterback. Never lost a game in Cincinnati, never lost a home game, took his team to the college football playoff. So Desmond Ridder has done pretty much everything that these young guys that are coming in has done other than win a Heisman Trophy. So I really feel like if I'm the Falcons, I'm sticking with Desmond Ridder. He's shown me enough this season where I think that you continue to develop him and you continue to add pieces around him, continue to build this defense, continue to learn how to deploy your weapons. Because as I mentioned, I don't care which young quarterback you bring in here. If you don't learn how to deploy the weapons that you have, Caleb Williams is not going to have success. Drake May is not going to have success in this offense because we have to know how to use the pieces that we have. And I feel like we've misused a lot of the guys that we have on this roster. We haven't used Cordell Patterson. We haven't used Tyler Algier in the way that they should be used consistently throughout the season. And we haven't gotten guys involved as far as Drake London, as far as Kyle Pitts. Last week was the first breakout game, and we're already in week 13 or 14. So that's unacceptable. So as I mentioned, you guys give me your thoughts on Desmond Ridder. Like I mentioned before, I do think that Desmond Ridder has what it takes to be a franchise quarterback. From what I've seen so far this year, he's shown me that he can do. He's basically checked off all of the standards for a good quarterback. He has leadership. He's a guy who's professional when he goes to the podium. He doesn't blame his teammates for losses. He doesn't blame his teammates when they make mistakes. He always puts it on himself, and he does a great job in practice. He's a gym rat, one of those guys that's the first person to the facility, the last ones to leave. He's super competitive, and pretty much, like I said, he has all of the abilities that you want in a starting quarterback in the league. So with that being said, this being your boy Jew. You guys give me your thoughts on Desmond Ridder. Do you think that the Falcons should move forward with Desmond Ridder next season? Or do you think the Falcons should draft another quarterback or bring in a veteran quarterback to be the starter next season? With that being said, this been your boy Jew. I'll holler at you guys in the next video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed, peace.